Yeah, this does seem kind of nuts to me. Timothy Hickerson is fighting extradition back to Prince William County, Virginia. That's what this comment is referring to. This person says he will eventually be brought to PWC. I don't get why he's putting his energy into fighting it, and I don't know either. So I wanted to look into it a little bit for you all. Now, just as a reminder, Timothy Hickerson was arrested on September 17th in Flagler County, Florida, for running a red light. But then they saw that he has a fugitive warrant here in Prince William County, Virginia. So he was going to be brought back. And just as a side note, like, this is so messy. There's a whole Facebook account that's just devoted to showing people's mugshots in Flagler County. So, like, what a bad place to get arrested. Now, in terms of defending himself against this extradition warrant, Timothy Hickerson does have a couple of options. Like, there are actually some defenses to this. And one is whether the extradition request documents are in order. So, I mean, sometimes people mess up paperwork. Another one is whether the demanding state has charged the person with a crime, which we do know that Virginia has. And then whether the person who is arrested is actually the person who's been charged with this crime. So in other words, like, it's a different Timothy Hickerson, it's not me, is a defense. And then whether the petitioner is in fact a fugitive from the requesting state. And this, I think we need, an actual lawyer to talk to, because I thought it was really interesting that they were able to get a fugitive warrant, because it's not as though this warrant was issued and then Tim Hickerson took off to Florida. Like, he's lived there for several years. He moved from Virginia many years ago, went to Maryland, and then went to Florida. He got married along the way and is just seemingly living, a fairly normal life. So I'm guessing the only reason they were able to get this fugitive warrant was simply so that they did have legal standing to extradite him, because they knew he was living outside of the state. Because once you have a fugitive warrant, the information is entered into NCIC, and then other jurisdictions can see it. So the next step for Tim Hickerson is basically to issue a writ of habeas corpus. But if the fugitive's petition or writ for habeas corpus is unsuccessful, the arresting state must hold them for the demanding state. The demanding state, in this case Virginia, then has 30 days to retrieve the fugitive. If they don't, the arresting state may release them. So basically, there's going to need to be a hearing in Florida for the writ of habeas corpus, so that a judge there can decide whether or not Tim is a fugitive and should be returned to Virginia. But looking on Flagler County's site, these are all the documents we have, and there's been nothing since the 18th, the day after he was arrested. And while you may notice that that top form is a waiver of extradition, if you click on it and take a look, it is not signed. It's just blank. So basically, we're in a holding pattern right now, and we're just going to have to keep an eye on this and see when they schedule the hearing, and see what is going to happen with Tim Hickerson and the charges he's facing in Virginia for the homicide of Shane Donahue.